thing you're going to want to decide on when you start playing slide guitar is what kind of slide you're going to use. Traditionally, people use bottlenecks, which is more applicable for, where's it gone now? For an upright style like this, but people use different slides for different reasons, I guess. And one of your main ones is kind of this medicine bottle, and it could be worn on your finger for the bottleneck style. But yeah, equally, get it in your hand like so, and use it to fret. Now, glass has got quite a mellow tone. It's quite nice. It doesn't have a brittle attack. It's quite round. But because it's quite light, it doesn't have a huge amount of sustain. So it's very nice. But I find that when I'm playing big chords and I want some sustain, that fades away quite quickly. It works better on the top strings, but it doesn't give you much at the bottom end. And if you're playing in a gig, you're getting sweaty, glass, round, sort of slips out of your hand a little bit. So, but that's one option. And what's nice about this is if you just try and slide out for the first time and you're playing around with your 12-string conversion or anything that you've raised the nut on, cheap and cheerful. It doesn't have to be a medicine bottle. It could be a pill bottle. It could be pretty much anything made of glass. I'd say option 2, certainly, or a cheap way of doing things, is socket. Like this is it's a 10mm Draper socket, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get endorsed by Draper after this, aren't I? And it's good. It's round, of course, still, but it's quite heavy, and the weight adds to the sustain of the notes. So if I play a similar sort of thing, so it's just that notes are just lasting a little bit longer. But you'll notice when I go and do slide up to a chord, it's got a bit more in the bottom end. The weight of the slide is holding the strings down a bit more and just creating a longer sustain. So yeah, good, cheap and cheerful way of playing lap steel, lap slide. And this for me is the tool of choice, which is a Shub SP2, and it's actually quite heavy, which I can't really demonstrate to you particularly, but it's brass. It's shaped and contoured to fit into your hand nicely. So first finger sits across the back, second finger here. So it's a very comfortable, very ergonomic design, as opposed to the slightly ungainly socket. And because it's heavier still, it's got even more sustain. Come up to big chord. So you've got a lot more to play with there. I think one thing to note is when you first start playing slide guitar, whatever you're holding in your hand is probably going to feel slightly uncomfortable for a while. You probably already play guitar, you may have experimented with alternate tunings or open tunings, and you're used to navigating a fretboard with your hands. So as soon as you put this in it, you feel a bit disadvantaged for a while. So don't be disheartened. I think slide is a fantastic medium. It's a fantastic and broad and diverse instrument, but it does take a little while to unlock the potential that it does have. So stick at it, and practice is key to all of these things, I guess. But that's the primary difference between these. I mean, if you want another cheap option is, you know, go to B&Q and get a bit of you know, clothes rail, anything that's chrome, shiny. Try stuff out, you know. I'm all up for making things as cheap as possible, you know. If you can get yourself up and running on an old guitar and get some good sounds, and it's not cost you a lot of money, that's I think it's great.